everyone, and thanks for stopping by. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to assemble the little hideaway box that I created in Cricut Design Space. The idea behind this box is not an original one. I actually found the measurements and a basic tutorial on how to do the box on the Split Coast Stampers website. So to make it easier for myself, I decided to see if I could recreate it in Design Space to make it easier, because on the tutorial I found, she just used a paper trimmer and a scoreboard. So this makes it much quicker. The first thing is, don't get intimidated when you open the file, because there are a lot of pieces, simply because I decided to decorate all sides and the top, and did several layers for the panels just to give it a little bit more dimension. You can omit any of the pieces that you don't think you'll want to use. But this is the little box we're going to be doing, and when you open it, you have 3 little hidden trays inside, perfect for little pieces of jewelry or anything that's lightweight, because it is made out of cardstock. It's not going to hold much weight, but I thought it was cute and decided to give it a try. So, alright, this is one I did, and on this one I used a stamp for the sentiment. And then here's another one I did, and this one on the little part where I have the sentiment on the other one, this is I did print and cut. It's an image in Cricut Design Space, but in the file I left this piece blank so you can put whatever you want in it. And there's this one when it's open. So the first thing we're going to do is, you'll want to assemble all of your little panel pieces. You will have 4 of the solid squares, and then you'll have 2 triangles that will go on the top. And like I said, you can omit any of the layers that you're not going to want to use. I did my back layer the same color as the box that I'll be making. And then I did a contrasting color, and then I did a patterned paper for the top layer. As you can see, unless your pattern is pretty small, you don't see a whole lot of it once you get those, the scallops put on. But I mean, this is something, you can play around with it. You can change your scallops to something else, make them smaller, omit them all together. It's kind of a cute little thing just to play around with and see what you can come up with. Alright, I've already put 2 of the trays together, so you didn't have to sit here and watch me, assemble every little piece, because there are a lot. Alright, 3rd tray I didn't fold, so I can kind of just show you how that's done. You'll fold all of your tabs in. And I always use a bone folder to go over any folds to make them crisp. Helps kind of, I don't know, makes the folds cleaner and makes it easier to line everything up and put it together, especially when you're doing like boxes. So you'll fold all of these to the inside and then go over your folds. And then what I do is I fold everything back out and then flip upside down, and then I put my glue on all 4 tabs on the outside. I use the art glitter glue for anything that I want to have a stronger hold than a dry adhesive. Love this glue. And I will go ahead and put glue on all 4 tabs. And then I get asked this a lot, what do I put on the top? This is just a ball of poster putty, because this tip, if you get the fine point tip, it comes with a little straight pin that you're supposed to try to get down in that little bitty hole. Well, I struggled with it, so I just got the brilliant idea to use some poster putty. Works great. All right, for this, now you're just going to line up all of your corners, and that will be it for your trays. There's 3 of these. And just, you want to make sure you line up your corners really well so it stays a square. And then you just go around and do all 4. Should fold it that way first. All right, then I just go back around and give them all a good squeeze. All right, there's our 3rd tray, so I'll set that aside. Excuse me. All right, for our main box, you have 2 pieces. They are identical, all except for this one tab on one piece. This is how we're going to attach our 2 box pieces together. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is, you'll notice you have 2 45-degree angles here. These are tabs, and they are going to get folded excuse me, to the inside of our box. And once you get those folded, go ahead and give them a nice crease with your bone folder. All right. Then, okay, give me a minute and let me get my bearings straight here. All right, those are going to go to the inside. Yes, so, all right, for these I'm going to use my dry adhesive. I use the Scotch Advanced Tape Glider. So you'll put your adhesive on those 2 tabs. You want to be generous with it so these don't come undone. All right, and then you're just going to stick those down. Rub it really well. All right, and then you've got lots of folds to do on this piece. So that'll be your next step. Just fold all of them to the inside, and then just keep going till you get them all done. And I always use my bone folder to make sure I'm going to get all of this nice and crisp, because this is part of our box. We want it to fold together nicely and fit. So lots of folding and unfolding on this. So, okay, once you have all your folds done, kind of just hold up that back piece where you did those 2 folds and stuck them in, and then kind of just fold everything together so you can see where your adhesive is going to go. Like I say, this is going to be where we attach it, so you just kind of ignore it for now. You'll notice we have this little tab and then our triangle here that we need to put our adhesive on. So what I do is I just flip it upside down and then put my adhesive on here. And then also on this little tab. and then just kind of move those up out of your way because we want these to go to the inside of the box. And then just fold everything in, line that triangle up to your edge, and then stick it down, and then flip upside down and line that tab up with the edge. And then stick it down. And I always go with my bone folder and rub that down really well. All right, there's half of our box. You do the same thing for the other piece. All right, so you'll take your two 45-degree angle tabs and you will fold those in. And then give them a good crease. Alright. And this side I'm going to go ahead and do all my folding before I glue those down. And then, like I say, all of your folds are going to go to the inside. Alright, and now I'll go back and I'll put my glue on these two and stick them down. So, and then just stick them to the inside really well. Alright, and then the same thing for this piece. Just kind of hold that up and then fold everything in. So you'll see, you know, this is the second half of your box. Okay, so we will, I think I creased that one. Alright, so same thing, flip it upside down, put your adhesive on your little tab and your triangle. Alright, and then fold those up out of the way. And then fold your box together, line up your triangle with the edge, and push it down. And then flip it and line up the edges on that tab. And then go all the way around, push everything down really well. Alright, so there's our second half. And this all depends on the grain of your paper. I always kind of just set them together, see which way they're gonna line up the best. Alright, so not so grand. I'm gonna flip it this way and try it. Alright, there, that looks like the way we're gonna go. Alright, so now we're going to attach our two pieces. You're going to glue to the inside of your flap. I'm going to use my wet adhesive again, since it's a little bit stronger, holds better. You want to make sure you get plenty of adhesive on this tab, since this is going to be where most of your friction is from it opening and closing. And then you just want to line it up as good as you can get it. You want to try to get it pretty well perfect. So, looks good. And then just press it down really well. Alright, and then there's our little box. Alright, now this is personal preference as far as when you put your little trays in. You can do it before you put your two pieces together. You'll notice in the file there's just a little rectangle. I cut it in white. This is to help you line up your middle tray in the right place. So what we do is you're going to lay this up in the upper right corner, and you're going to make some marks. I typically do 2 or 3, sometimes more. Oops, I'll let it move. You want to make sure it stays in place. All right, and then just make your marks along there. These aren't going to show, so this just does not want to stay down. All right, then you're going to take it and just flip it over to this side and do the same thing. Make you a couple little marks here. This will be where you line up the bottom of your middle tray. All right. Your other ones go in the immediate upper and lower corners, so you don't have to mark those. All right, so let's go ahead, and this will do our top tray. You're going to only glue on 2 sides, and it's going to go all the way up in that top corner on the left side of your box. So again, I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and I'm going to put adhesive on just 2 sides. Alright, and then I'm going to get this up here in the corner. Make sure it's all the way up there before you completely stick it down, and then just go around and press it down. Make sure you get it stuck really well. Alright. Then you're going to do the same thing for your bottom box. It's going to go all the way down here in your bottom corner. So adhesive on 2 sides only. And these little trays are complete squares, so it doesn't matter which side goes in. So all the way in your bottom corner, all the way to the back and to the side. And then press it in. And then something optional you can do here, I did it on one of my boxes, I can't remember, is before you put this bottom tray in, you could add some adhesive to the bottom of that tray, just on this little section, so it sticks to the bottom of your actual box. Optional, doesn't really make a difference other than kind of just, you can see where there's like a little tiny gap right here, kind of just pulls that up. Alright, and then the next thing we're going to do is our middle tray. Same thing, you're just going to put your adhesive on 2 sides. And then you are going to line the bottom with those marks you made. And this is a little tricky, but because this is paper, I mean, it tends to warp and bend, so everything is not going to be perfect. Alright, and then once you have it on those marks, you're just going to stick it down. Alright, and that is pretty much it for our box. it's together. Our trays are in, and you can see, you know, that middle tray slides right between your top and bottom. You'll notice more than likely your box isn't going to want to stay closed yet, but once you get all of your decorated panels put on there, it gives it enough weight to where it'll hold it closed just by that weight. I did some little foam squares on my panels just to give my box a little bit of dimension, and then I also am going to do foam squares on my scallops that'll sit on top of those panels to give those some dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause the video and put all my pieces on, and then I'll come back and I will show you the finished box. Okay, so I'm back and I am almost done with the box, but I did want to point out one more thing on the top of the box where you are going to add, if you decide to use your little scallops or another decoration on top, you only want to put your adhesive on one side of the box, or if you do it on this, just one half. I do it on the top of the box. You can see I have my little foam squares just on one side. So I'll close it up and I will line up my little piece here, and then just set it down, and then just kind of, I like using my bone folder for this as well, just kind of push it in, make sure it's stuck, and then there you go. And as I was saying, once you get those panels on, the weight helps keep your box closed. You could always, you know, add a little ribbon to the very edges here and tie it shut, but I like just being able, you know, to open and close it. So here is the finished box, and you have your little hideaway trays where you can store little trinkets or jewelry or whatever you decide to use it for. So thanks for watching. I hope this helps you figure out how to put this little box together. If you have any questions, just go down to the comments and ask, and I will do my best to get back to you. I will put the link to this Design Space file down in the comments below, so you can get the file for free. I used basic shapes for everything, which are free. The only thing that is part of Cricut Access that will cost if you don't subscribe to Access is the little scallop piece. Like I say, you know, you can substitute that with whatever or omit it completely and cut this for free without Access. So if you enjoyed the video and want to see more of my projects, please do subscribe, and you will find links to all of my social media accounts down in the description as well. So have a great day.